Welcome back to my Lobotomy Corporation bedtime story reading. This is Hitori, and I will be helping you fall asleep with some ambient audio and awesome OST from our favorite game as I learn more about Lobotomy Corporation's abnormalities. In the last video, we read about the open can of wild cheers. This time, it will be about the Fairy Festival. This is now the 12th video of the series. Check the entire playlist on the card on the upper right of this video. Let's begin. Fairy Festival F-04-83 is an abnormality comprising of a group of entities that all take the appearance of glowing humanoid fairies, both large and small. Each fairy is humanoid, with aquamarine skin, a bloated stomach, and 2 pairs of arms. 3 if you include their hair, which also resembles arms. They each have 1 pair of legs, a tail, 2 pairs of insectile wings, and a pair of pointy ears. The fairy visible in containment is the largest one, while the smaller fairies appear when their ability is triggered. Ability. Their special ability triggers after getting a normal or good work result. Once the work is finished, a group of smaller fairies will begin hovering around the employee, healing 10% of the employee's max HP every second for 8 seconds. If the employee is ordered to perform a work with another abnormality while the fairies are still on them, the employees will be instantly killed and eaten by the fairies. Story. The abnormality is similar to a fairy, having 2 pairs of wings and a small body. They act as a cluster. They use a language we cannot understand to communicate with each other. They follow a few employees around when they enter the containment unit, using their special abilities to help heal injuries. Employees call this act the fairies' care. The fairies protect our employees. If you often act out of the goodness of your heart and you are a lover of nature, then the fairies will gladly take care of you. Everything will be peaceful while you're under the fairies' care. You can also enjoy the envious glances you'll get from the other employees. Not that it's important, but what if the fairies don't approach you? Then you should reflect your life. When Emil and I took shifts entering the fairies' containment unit, the fairies did not hesitate to approach me, only me. Never towards Emil. You all know how Emil and how he is. Why, just yesterday he refused to share his snacks with me, and he was acting all high and mighty. It is a sacred act to be protected by fairies in any world. However, do not enter their containment unit just to have a bit of fun. If you've read a few books on them, you'll know that fairies dislike those who take advantage of their kindness. The corresponding document is only accessible by employees level 4 and higher. When Walter, who was under the care of the fairies, died in the room of another abnormality, we noticed some anomalies. His stomach and face were ripped off, and his eyeballs and organs were damaged as if they were eaten by something. Moreover, the containment unit Walter was found in was for an abnormality that uses psychological attacks. Meanwhile, the fairies had someone's blood and flesh smeared all over their mouths. We did not bother to examine them to find out whose flesh and blood it was. In our world, there are few outcomes that result from perfect kindness. Having fairies that live in the forest visit you just because they like you, or that you've done so many good deeds, is only something that happens in fairy tales. Even though we know this truth, we still sometimes become deluded, thinking that the fairies care, is happening because of all the good deeds we've done, or that the fairies are favoring us because there's something that makes us more special than the other employees. The fairies are no more than carnivorous monsters, and their protection is their method to keep the meat fresh. When an employee enters another containment unit, they gobble them up in fear that they will lose their food for something else. However, the employees were greatly satisfied by the fairy scare, and we saw a drastic decrease in the accident rate. So, we deemed it necessary to tell the truth to the employees. Trivia. In the Wonder Lab comic, Fairy Festival has an aberration named Titania, which, unlike other aberrations, is stronger than the original abnormality, being an Aleph class. Wonder Lab comic? What is that? Is that like a Project Moon webcomic? Like, I'm not gonna look that up right now because you probably are gonna tell me in the comments. That'd be great, but if not, I'll look it up. Like, now that you've already seen this video, I'll probably look it up, or maybe not. I'll probably forget, honestly. Just tell me down below. When I first encountered this abnormality, I had no idea what it wanted from me. So, of course, it's just a teeny tiny glowy fairy. Let me send my person inside. And then he finished. And I'm like, oh, it's still loading. I'm gonna send this person that I sent from the fairy to another place. And he died. Of course. It's not like we can open immediately the information that the fairy has anyway. So we always learn the hard way, of course. But after a while, you know, of not doing that, it's fine. Like, it's just a cyan abnormality. It's not that crazy. After a while, you got a lot of other abnormalities that are like, wow, Alephs, even he's and all that. You just abandon this guy. You know, you just make him chill. I don't really have any qualms for this fairy. It's just chilling. Just don't send your employee to another containment unit for them to be eaten. You know, basically. I think they look pretty cute, but the moment I saw the animation where they're eating my employee, that was just not it. So I'm like, yeah, we're not making that mistake ever again. If you have any tips or other interesting details about this abno that may not be in the wiki, please comment down below. And if you like, you can also catch my stream on Twitch and here on YouTube so that you can assist me if you're a veteran in the game. If you want more Project Moon content from me, please don't hesitate to like the video. You can also support me further with my Patreon. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. That was my phones. I hope that didn't come through. I would like to thank my current Patreon supporters that are shown on the screen, as well as my Twitch subscribers. I want to let you know that I appreciate everything you do for me, for real, for real. This thanks is also extended to you, who is still watching. That's insane. Nobody watches the end of the videos, right guys? Anyway, until next time, I hope you rest easy.